Hey Brian, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, man?
Nada. Sorry about the delay. It was so weird. I was doing an interview
Uh-huh.
and then my phone rang and it dropped and I was trying to sign back on with the guy to finish his interview. That's why I'm a couple minutes late. So
No, no big deal. No big deal. So how's it going today, John?
good, man. I'm just been very pleased that this new record seems to be getting very positive reviews, and I've been doing a bunch of interviews every day. People
Uh-huh.
are reaching out, going, "Hey, man, I'd love to talk to them about this record." And
Uh-huh.
life is good.
Cool, 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 cool. Well, welcome to our site, RockEyez, and congratulations on the new album.
Have you heard it or
Oh
had
yeah,
had a chance to listen to it?
yes, I did. You
Awesome.
know, and I want to go down the tracks and stuff like that, and you know, uh, tell you a little bit about what I thought about the songs and stuff like that. I liked it. You know, I like the album because I don't want always heavy metal or certain. It's a good mix. I like it all. You know,
That's cool. I appreciate it.
yeah.
And you know what? I don't know how old you are. Um, I'm going to be 67 in April.
I'm 67.
Okay, so you'll I think for you know, I didn't really care. I didn't really give a shit. Like a lot of people are like, you're kind of catering to. I go, no, I'm catering to me. This
Yeah.
is the music I grew up listening to,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to stand on stage and play a bunch of metal shit to
Right.
cater. This is just music I grew up listening to, all the influences I grew up with, and
Right.
I put it in a stew and I put it out there. But I think the people of our generation
Right.
will really appreciate this record.
Cool. 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 Like me, I'm a former staff photographer for a metal magazine, right? So everybody thinks all I do is metal, 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 metal. But like you said, I'm 67. I also photograph Al Green and like bands like that. So like
Yeah.
for cops, like just saying, I thought you like metal. I said I do, but why? I can't like other stuff.
Well, where are you from? Where are
Originally
you?
New York, but I live in New Jersey now.
Okay, so I'm a Philly boy,
Okay.
and the funny thing of it is, and I'm probably jumping a bit ahead, but I've had quite a few people ask me
Uh-huh.
like, what were you trying to accomplish with this record?
Right.
And in regards to your statement, what you just said to me,
Right.
the thing that I missed the most about the music when we were growing up
Right.
was, well, let me back up. Nowadays, when you
Uh-huh.
put a song out,
Right.
all the suits
Uh-huh.
have to figure out what box it goes into.
Right. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it is it metal? Is it
Hmm.
rock? Is it, grunge? Is it classic rock? Like what box does this go in?
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know as well as I do, I spent my Fridays and
Uh-huh.
Saturday nights, me and a bunch of buddies would steal some beer, get some weed,
Right.
and all we wanted to do was watch the Midnight Special
Right. Yeah.
or Don Kirshner's rock concert, who had, even though it said Don Kirshner's rock concert,
Right. Yeah.
you were bound to see bands like Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Right.
Ohio Players, Sly and the
Right.
Family Stone,
Uh-huh.
and so that was like, that's the thing that's lost me over the last 25, 30 years or longer,
Right.
is that all of a sudden all these categories sprung up that didn't exist when we were growing up.
Right. Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do a record where it's like, you know what? You try and figure out what box to put this in.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't believe in boxes.
Uh-huh. Cool, cool. Well, even what's good about even you did Everyday People and from Sly and the Family Stone. Now people will hear that and then they'll find out it's from Sly, and then they'll go check him out. So like I'm I like that. You know.
Well, and that's, honestly, if I could, that was one of the things that the Dead Daisies actually kind of became known for
Right.
is we all grew up with this music,
Uh-huh.
and we tried to, not, I don't want to say tried, but we kind of, we're a classic rock band,
Right.
and in each record we would do, we tried to put we called it a tip of the hat to
Right.
some of the bands that we grew up with. So we would do a cover or two,
Right.
and um, and it was funny because some of these covers that we did, for example, we did Midnight Moses by the sensational Alex Harvey band.
Right. Yeah.
And I still, to this day, I get people like kind of write to me and they go, dude, were you on acid when you wrote those lyrics? They're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I go, no, it's a cover song. And then when I explain,
Uh-huh.
you know, it was now it's crazy. A musician that
Right.
I know here in Nashville, just uh a few days ago, my wife and I go to this little pub around the corner from my house.
Right.
And my wife loves our version of Midnight Moses, the Dead Daisies.
Right.
So I played it on the jukebox for her.
Uh-huh.
And this other musician, and he's not much younger than you and I.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, dude, I love your song,
Uh-huh.
Midnight Moses. And when he said it, I go, thank you, but that's not our song, right? And he goes, what?
Right.
And I go, it's a cover.
Right.
And he goes, what? So then I went on my phone. I had that Touch Tunes
Right.
fucking phone thing. I played him the original.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I never heard this before. This
Right.
is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, and listen to the guy's voice singing. It was Bon Scott's favorite singer.
Wow. Cool.
And if you listen to the original, like Alex Harvey, you'd
Right.
swear you're listening to Bon Scott.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
he was like, oh my God, this is great. And
Uh-huh.
he literally went out and bought, like, he downloaded a couple Alex Harvey records like the
Right.
next day.
Uh-huh.
That's the idea. Turn people on to shit that they may or may not have heard before. And, spread the word, dude. Spread the
Right.
word. There's so much great music out there that just gets still to this day ignored,
Right.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's kind of sad to me.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Like even like, thinking back on my parents and stuff, like listening to music, she would listen to my mother would listen to Lion Sleeps Tonight and Bernadette from like Four Tops and stuff. Do you remember some of the stuff like your parents listened to and you remember in your mind?
Well, my dad was always at work,
Right.
but my mom, and you'll relate to this, my mom was a member of that Columbia Record House
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah. Me too.
Yeah. And so my mom had this massive vinyl collection.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, back then it was like you just take 5 albums and you put them on, and you just hit play and, they do their thing. When they're done, you go pick them up, flip them over, and then start over again.
Yeah.
But my mom had everything from, God, Johnny Cash, Glenn Campbell, Trini Lopez,
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings. I mean, she had Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett,
Uh-huh.
but she also had Zeppelin, Kiss,
Yeah.
Beth,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Aerosmith, Dream On 45.
Right.
So my mom had this just huge eclectic,
Yeah.
and from the minute she walked in the door to the minute she closed her eyes to go to sleep,
Uh-huh.
there was always music, a radio, or
Uh-huh.
the stereo was going at
Right.
all times.
Cool. Definitely.
And so that was nobody in my family played music,
Uh-huh.
like any sort of instrument,
Right.
but my mom just always had music playing in the car, at home, when she was, showering in the morning. She had a radio in the bathroom with her.
Uh-huh.
So that was my introduction. That was my music vocabulary,
Uh-huh.
whatever she was listening to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Columbia House. I remember the ad, like you get 10 albums for $1 or something.
Oh,
And
not even. It was like your first order, you got 13 records for a penny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And then because you would have to click on the categories that you liked,
right.
and then they
Uh,
would send you a record once a month or
yeah,
twice a month, whenever it was. And if you kept it, they charged you, I think back then vinyl was $5.99 for a
yeah,
whole album.
right.
And then if you didn't like it, you sent it back.
Yeah.
And so, but she kept everything.
Wow.
I
That's
mean,
good.
she had all the boxes clipped.
Uh-huh. So your new album, New Day, will that come out on vinyl too?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
We got it. Actually, if you go to any of my web pages, there's a pre-order for it, and they've got all these different bundles,
Uh-huh.
all these different color vinyls. They got hoodies,
Uh-huh.
t-shirts, CDs, all the good shit. It's all
Uh-huh.
out there.
Cool, cool. So that means once you get the vinyl, you open it up and you sniff it, right?
Oh my God, dude. You know what's pathetic? When I moved from Philadelphia to LA,
Uh-huh.
I lugged all these, because I had an entire catalog of, Deep Purple, Aerosmith, the Stones, like
Right.
Zeppelin, brought it all with me.
Wow.
And I got my record deal, and Hollywood Records handed me a CD.
Ah,
And I
wow.
go, no vinyl? Well, yeah, we're going to do vinyl, but dude, vinyl, it's old news. It's,
Wow.
CD, that's the thing of the future.
Wow.
So what did yours truly do? I fucking got rid of all my vinyls.
Ah, wow.
Yeah. I mean, thousands
Uh-huh.
of records.
Wow.
And now I find myself online on Amazon or even the Guitar Center. If I go for strings or whatever, I'll
Uh-huh.
look to see they have a little vinyl section, look to see if there's something. And I'm buying all the same records that I had in the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Wow.
last time I was at Guitar Center, I bought Sabbath Masters of Reality,
Uh-huh.
and I just bought Grand Funk, We're an American Band.
Wow. Wow. I remember them really well. Yeah, I got most of my record collections still upstairs, but I mean, most of them are beat up. But I mean, like Alice Cooper School's Out with the underwear on the album and like,
Yep, yep.
you
It
know,
opened up, looked like a desk.
yeah, 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 So like, yeah, I still got all my vinyl and stuff. It's not in great condition because I played it,
You,
you
you,
know.
you you know what's funny? I just had a fan. God, it was probably about a year or two ago, and I went out and did an acoustic show,
Uh-huh.
and I must have did an interview, and I said like huge Beatles fan, and
Right.
so I couldn't believe they did it because they probably spent 150, $200,
Right.
but they literally went and bought me every Beatles record
Wow. That's nice.
remastered
Mhm.
in vinyl.
Wow.
And they're like, "Hey, dude, here's a gift." And so I had it here, and then it was funny. My ex-wife, who I totally get along with,
Right.
mother of my kids, and my new wife and ex-wife get along great. But
Right.
anyway, my ex-wife moved here from LA to uh, Nashville.
Uh-huh.
And she called me. She goes, "Oh, hey, I got a box of your stuff. I brought it out. It was in a storage locker, and inside the box, from my mother's record collection,
Wow.
was like 5 Beatles records.
Wow. That's great.
And I pulled them out, and I'm like, man, I wonder if these even play. And I put them on the stereo,
Uh-huh.
and they all play perfectly.
Wow. That's great.
So I've got a whole
Uh,
Beatles thing, like the new ones and the
Right.
old ones. It's kind of cool.
Cool, cool. You see, they got all of a sudden, you know how they have baseball cards and you could figure out a price. You just scan the thing. They got that for albums now.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's something new. You just scan the label of the vinyl, and it'll give you the price, how much it's going for.
Wow.
You know,
You know, it's
I
funny.
haven't done it yet, but it's cool.
I'm looking right now. I've been scouring my house because I have it in here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, you saw the news yesterday that Chuck Negron from
Right.
Three
Yeah.
Dog Night passed away.
Yeah.
So I did a little RIP.
Uh-huh.
I love that band.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
And I said to everybody, hey, if you want to read something like that's just insane,
Right.
read Chuck's book,
Yeah. Yeah.
Three Dog Nightmare.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So a buddy of mine reached out and he goes, hey, dude, if you have it, he's Tom Kiefer's tour manager and we're going to tour together.
Right.
He goes, if you have that book, bring it on tour with you. He
Mhm.
goes, I just went on Amazon to buy that.
Right.
And he's like, the paperback used
Uh-huh.
is $99.
Uh-huh.
The
Wow.
hardcover is like literally going for like 250, $300.
Wow.
And I'm like, I've got it here
Yeah.
somewhere.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've been scouring my house trying to find the book, but it's just insane. Like some of the, even the Scream,
Right.
old Scream records from 91 or the
Right.
original Motley record I did from
Uh-huh.
94. Dude, it's like two, three, $400,
Yeah.
$500 for these
Yeah.
things. It's crazy.
Cool. Cool. You know, it's unbelievable. And you're talking about Three Dog Night. When I was younger, I mean, you know how many times I must have played that song one, like
Oh yeah.
every day. You know.
Yeah, and it's funny because probably, I mean, I love them all,
All right.
but my my probably two favorites is Mama Told Me Not to Come
Right.
and Shambhala.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's funny, like even this bar that I go to with my wife,
Right.
we'll get in there and I got the touch tunes and I start playing this stuff, and everybody in the bar kind of looks around and they're like, "CORABI's in here somewhere,"
Uh-huh.
because I play the same fucking songs every time, and they just
Cool.
laugh. They're
Yeah.
like, "We always know Honky Tonk, Mama Told Me Not to Come,
Uh-huh.
Dirty Work by Steely Dan, like all
Right.
this shit that you play every time." So as soon as these songs play, they start looking around like he's here somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Wow. Just like almost not an interview. It's like just reminiscent. You know. It's
you know what?
great.
At our age,
Uh-huh.
that's about all we can do, pal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Definitely, definitely. Let's get to the album at least. You know, the first video and the single is New Day. Tell me a little bit about the making of that song. Is it brand new? Did you have it like hidden away or
No, 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 no. Oh, like there's maybe two songs on the record that I had released before
right,
with the intent of putting this record out, but you know, things are different now. It's all about algorithms and hashtags.
right?
So I'm like, whatever. Um, but New Day's brand new.
Uh-huh.
Marty and I got together and we just kind of bopped that one around for a bit
Uh-huh.
and as Marty actually helped me with the title, he's like, New Day,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. So I came home and I just literally wrote those lyrics in like a day. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like one night I wrote them, went back the next day and sang it. You know,
Wow.
and it just it's obviously positive. You know, like live for today. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Be
Uh-huh.
present.
Cool, cool, cool. One of the songs that really caught my ear was When I Was Young. I think that's an amazing song. I think that would be perfect for Peter Criss to sing that song. You know, with your vocals, it really reminded
Well,
me of that.
and it's funny because when we initially wrote it, Marty and I, it was it was a little bit more ballad-ish.
Uh-huh.
And Marty's the one that came to me like we kind of mapped it out,
Right.
and we hadn't recorded it yet. And so I came home. He's like, "All right, well, let's get together tomorrow in the studio and knock this one out."
Right.
And Marty's funny. He gets a little in his own head depending on how many edibles he's had that day. But I went into the studio and he goes, "You know what, Crab? I was thinking, what if we did this a little more up tempo?"
Uh-huh.
And I go, I'm like, he goes, "Okay, now it doesn't sound anything like it, but what if we did it kind of like Maggie May?"
Cool.
And I
Uh-huh.
was like, so we kind of jammed it. And I'm like, I totally get it. Yes, it's fucking awesome.
Uh-huh.
And we immediately laid it down and put it to bed.
Right.
But that's kind of what he was going for, was like a Maggie May, or
Right.
for lack of a better term. And to be honest with you, if you look at old interviews with
Right.
Paul Stanley wrote Hard Luck Woman,
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and he wrote that based kind of in a Maggie May
Uh-huh.
was the motivation for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Another song I really like is Laurel, you know?
And again,
Uh-huh.
that one came. I just watched the documentary called Echoes in the Canyon.
Okay.
And it's funny, my wife's a bit younger than me, so I'm always telling her music nerd shit. And she'll say, "God, man, I was born 10 years too late."
Uh-huh. Wow.
So she could, but I watched that documentary and I found myself saying I was born 10 years too late, because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
about all the musicians, the Three Dog Nights and the Monkees and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Dylan and George Harrison, and all these cats lived along the Mamas and Papas. They all lived in Laurel Canyon area.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
And I was just so inspired by that documentary. I don't know where it came from, but I sat down and I started writing Laurel as a
Right. Yeah.
tribute to all those bands we grew up listening to that lived on Laurel Canyon.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I love that song too. Another song, Love That'll Never Be. When I listened to that, I got the feeling of Steven Tyler for some reason with your vocals, and I was hearing you and Tyler in one ear and the other. So, like, that was a really cool song.
Well, that's I'll take that comparison all day long.
Right? Yeah.
But what's funny? That one kind of came about on an accident.
Uh-huh.
Um, Oddly enough, I was sitting here with my acoustic guitar and I was teaching myself the uh all of the little, I can't explain it, but all the little in between riffs
Right.
that Keith Richards does in the song Honky Tonk Woman.
Uh-huh.
And for years I've been trying to figure it out. It was like right, but it never sounded right.
Right.
And then I realized, like, oh wait, Keith's in a open G tuning.
Right.
And so I started doing that. And then there was a couple riffs. There was this one riff that he does. It's a lower, it's just like this lower string riff that he does in Honky Tonk Woman. And I thought it was cool.
Right.
And I just started playing the chords with a variation of that riff on there.
Right.
And so I honestly have Honky Tonk Woman to thank for that one. And it was a fluke. I
Uh-huh.
wrote the song, and uh, I was, it all again all came together pretty organically and pretty quick.
Right. Cool, cool. Another strong track number 10, Cosi Bella. I love that song. It's a remake from your or 2021 release.
Well, it's the same.
Uh,
But that was what I was trying to do. Initially, I was going to do a solo record, and things just got sidetracked, whatever. And that, uh, I put that song out,
Mhm.
and because Marty was like, dude, people aren't putting records out anymore.
Uh-huh.
He goes, if you're going to do a record, put a single out, let it sit for 6, 8, 10 weeks, put another single out, 6, 8, 10 weeks, and you do this 4, 5, 6 singles
Right.
while you're working on a record, and then you drop it and you sell it at your shows.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I go, okay.
Yes.
So I did Cosi Bella, and I put it out there, but it was weird. Like, still to this day, there's as many people as I've been getting positive reviews on this record. That's
Right.
how, like, I was like, how do I let people know that
Right.
I've got a new song out?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
great when you drop a single, but if people don't know to look for it,
Right.
it's just. So it was me trying to figure out, like I said earlier, the algorithms, hashtags, all that
Right.
bullshit.
Uh-huh.
So I did that one. I did Your Own Worst Enemy.
Uh-huh.
And then I kind of said, hold on a minute, I need to figure this out.
Right.
And then I wound up going back to the Dead Daisies, and I was busier than shit for like 2.5 years,
Right. Yeah.
whatever. And then I got offered to do the solo record, and I just said, you know what, screw it, let's finish it. I'll let them figure out the hashtags and the
Right. Yeah.
algorithms.
Yeah. 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 You definitely, definitely. So
Earn that
last,
money, kids.
oh yeah, the last track, Everyday People, Sly and the Family Stone. Why'd you decide to pick that? Or was there any other songs that you were thinking about?
There was a few.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I don't really want to get into what ones they are because I still think they're great songs that I'm going to do in the future.
Okay.
Um, but they were some definite, like, uh, kind of head scratchers.
Uh-huh.
Even Everyday People, even my wife was like, I think I'm going to cover Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone. And my wife
Right.
is like, how the fuck are you going to do that?
Right. Yeah.
Just give me a minute. We'll figure it out. And
Right.
we
Yeah.
went into the studio, and if you really listen to the vibe of the song,
Right.
I mean, we actually wrote another part and put it in for the
Right.
guitar solo.
Uh-huh.
But the meat and potatoes of the song is literally just I transposed the key to suit my voice.
Right.
And we kind of did it. It's like a cross between, well, it is
Hmm.
Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone
Hmm.
with maybe some rhythmic textures of T-Rex Bang a
Right.
Gong.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that song.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, let's just figure out how we can do this. And that was one of the songs Paul Taylor played on. He did a great job on the keys, but
Uh-huh.
I have always loved like Sly and the Family Stone, even back in the day,
Right. Yeah.
that was a late 60s artist. And I just think he was brilliant because he was one of the, again, he was a no box person.
Right. Uh-huh.
You sit there, you go, okay, well, they're all black,
Uh-huh.
but they've got a rock element to them.
Uh-huh.
But there, there's an R&B and a funk element. Like,
Uh-huh.
what box do we put this band in?
Yeah.
And I thought for that, Sly Stone, and then his lyrics were politically
Right.
and just socially brilliant.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Cool.
Um, so I've always loved that thing. Even now, still to this day, I've got a couple motorcycles,
Uh-huh.
and my wife and I'll get on a bike, and I'll plug my phone in, and I put Sly and the Family Stone greatest hits,
Uh-huh.
and I just crank it, and so that's he's definitely one of my favorites from my childhood.
Cool. 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 Now you're gonna do a European tour, I guess what, starting next week or in
I
February
actually
sometime?
leave in like 6 days. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And how long will that tour last?
Maybe about 3 weeks. We're going over, just do a few shows in England, Europe. The guys are going to come back home. I'm going to stay a couple days longer. I've got a couple acoustic shows.
Uh-huh.
And then it's weird. We're off. I think my agent's trying to put some stuff together for April,
Mhm.
March and April.
Right.
But end of April, we fly back over to Europe.
Uh-huh.
We do about another week and a half worth of dates.
Uh-huh.
The record label does a huge festival every year.
Right.
So we're going to do that. And that's May 3rd. May 4th, we fly home. May 5th, we start in America with Tom Kiefer on
Cool.
his tour. Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. And how long will the US tour last?
Off and on from May through July.
Mhm. Cool, cool.
So, and so it's a bunch of shows with Tom Kiefer, a bunch of stuff on our own.
Uh,
But it's I'm excited, man. It's like the
uh-huh.
calendar's getting a little more full every day.
Cool.
So,
Wow, wow. Now you did Scream, you did all the other stuff. What about movies?
nah.
Nah?
What you mean, acting or
Yeah,
making music for it?
acting.
No, I'm gonna no. It's. I will say this. I was a little envious. I had a few friends that were somewhat regulars
Right.
on uh Sons of Anarchy,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and I was like, man, I could do that.
Right, yeah.
I ride. I have tattoos.
Uh-huh.
I look like an old homeless biker.
Uh-huh.
Come on,
Yeah.
But um, I wouldn't turn it down, but
Right,
I
right.
just don't know you know, if I lend any value to anything, because
Uh-huh.
I'm still, 40, 50 years later,
Uh-huh.
I'm still kind of this artist that's flown under the radar for the
Right.
most part,
Uh-huh.
you know? So it's like, blah, 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 starring Brad Pitt and John CORABI. I don't see it anytime in the near future.
Oh, well, once again, congratulations on the new album, New Day, which is released April 24th on Frontiers. And John, it was great chatting with you. A lot of reminiscing. And by the way, do you have a record player?
Yes, I do.
Okay, a lot of people got records, no record player. You
No,
know?
no, no, no. I started collecting the records and then I went, it's time.
Uh-huh.
So I bought a nice turntable, couple nice speakers,
Uh-huh.
power amp.
Right.
I'm good to go.
Cool, cool. Well, thanks a lot for the chat, John. I appreciate it. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
Thank you.
No problem.
That just a blanket thank you for the last 40 years. It's been awesome.
Cool, cool. Thanks a lot, John. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
All right, brother. Thank you.